The Chevy Camaro was introduced back in 1967 and ran continuously through the 2002 model year before it was discontinued. But for 2010, Chevy rebirthed the Camaro into this all-new 5th generation model that ran from the 2010 to 2015 model year. The 5th generation Camaro was available in this coupe or convertible configuration, and they had 5 basic trim package offerings. 6-cylinder models were available in a base LS package, as well as a 1LT and 2LT package, and then the 8-cylinder models were available with a 1SS or 2SS package, SS standing for Super Sport. They also offered the Camaro in a number of special editions. Styling wise, the 5th generation Camaro is iconic. It's got a really cool look to it. What I love about it is that it's got just a little bit of retro flair, paying tribute to those Camaros from the late 60s, yet at the same time it's got a very modern look to it, and it's not just copying what we saw in those late 60s Camaros. It's really got a personality of its own, comes together incredibly nice. The other thing that I really love about it is that as much as I love the Ford Mustang and the Dodge Challenger, all 3 of these vehicles are muscle cars, but there's something about the Camaro in terms of having a really muscular stance that I don't feel like you quite get with the Mustang and the Challenger. Just overall, it's got a much more muscular look to it, a really aggressive style, some nice bulges that you don't really see in those other 2 models. And of the 3 models, again, while I love all 3 of them, there's something about this 5th generation Camaro in particular that I just really love. Starting up here on the front end, we get a little bit of that retro vibe. You'll see that the grille and headlight design is very reminiscent of the late 60s Camaros, where the headlight is tucked back behind the front of the vehicle, and we've got the hidden blinkers back there in the grille. You'll also see that the headlights on this model have the LED wraparound, giving it a really cool look when those are illuminated. Got the SS badging in the grille as well. And then down below, we've also got fog lights integrated in the bumper. You'll see we've got a little trim piece missing here, but it's got kind of a fake little intake there that gives a nice look. And we've got the massive bulge on the hood, give it a nice aggressive look. One thing that's really cool about the styling on the Camaro, but also the feel that you get when you're driving it, is that the windows are really short in that vertical dimension. And so it gives this illusion that you're sitting much lower to the ground than you really are, because the top of the doors is coming up to your neckline. So not real good for visibility, but it does give it a really cool look on the exterior, and likewise, the feel when you're driving it is pretty cool as well. You'll see that on this SS model, we get a set of 20-inch wheels. Really nice look to those. Got the Camaro lettering on the fender, nice sleek mirror design. These are heated on the 2SS. And then we get these 3 grooves on the rear fender here. Pretty dramatic slope on the rear of the vehicle. You will see we also get a sunroof up top. It's tilt and sliding. And then coming around to the back, we got the dual tail lights on each side. The chrome wraparound. I think that this was a better look than what we're seeing in the more modern Camaros. I wish they would have kind of continued this. Likewise, we've got the SS lettering, and we've got parking sensors in the bumper to beep to notify you if you're about to hit something. That's a good thing because visibility is not real good looking out of the back of this vehicle. You'll see that we've got our backup lights as well, 2 little rectangular lights on each side. This vehicle's got an aftermarket backup camera, and then massive dual exhaust, which has an excellent note. So all around, a really great looking vehicle. Again, what I love about it is that it's got just a little bit of that retro flair, paying tribute to those late 60s Camaros, but it really does have a personality of its own. I think there's something so special about the styling on this 5th generation Camaro. Inside the Camaro, you'll see that it's definitely got a retro look here as well. Again, paying tribute to some of those older Camaros, and it's got a pretty cool overall look to it. I do wish that some of the materials were a little bit higher quality because the style is cool, some of the little design cues are cool, but some of the plastics are a little bit on the cheaper end. Again, it's a very affordable vehicle, so you can kind of understand that at some level. Looking at the dashboard here, you'll see we've got the tri-spoke steering wheel. It is leather wrapped with the white stitching. On the steering wheel, we've got controls for cruise control, audio, and Bluetooth. We've also got paddle shifters on the back here. Gauges have that retro look to them. We've got our speedometer on the left, tachometer on the right. We've also got a fuel gauge and temperature gauge. And then in the middle, we've got an LCD screen that gives us digital speedometer, gear, and then mileage. So pretty nice overall look there. The vehicle does come with a pretty nice level of standard options. We've got power windows, power door locks, power heated mirrors, climate control system with heated seats for driver and front passenger. Audio system, we've got AM FM radio, we've got CD, we've got XM radio. You can also connect a device using a hardwired connection or a Bluetooth connection, and then you can also connect your phone to the vehicle to place calls through the vehicle audio system. It also has a Boston premium audio system, so pretty great sound characteristics overall. You'll see that in the center here, it's got, again, that retro look to it. We've got the 4 gauges down below. We've got oil pressure, oil temperature on the left-hand side, voltage on the top right, and then our transmission temperature in the bottom right. We've also got the ability to turn off traction control. Not that anybody would ever do that with their Camaro. In the center here, you'll see we've got the 2 cup holders, center console. We've got that auxiliary connection for your phone. We've got a USB connection. We've got a 12-volt outlet, and then a little bit of storage space. Up top, we've got a self-dimming rear view mirror, which has OnStar functionality. It's a subscription service. Also got the ability to program up to 3 garage door openers through the HomeLink system. And then up top, we've got a sunroof that is tilt and sliding. So all around, pretty nice interior inside of the Camaro. Now with the seat positioned where I'd want it here as a passenger in the front, we'll go ahead and jump into the back and give you a look at legroom. To get to the rear, we've got a latch here that just folds the seat forward. And then we can climb back in. And with the seat back, you'll see that I do fit. I'm 5'10". Headroom is definitely the biggest issue here. I've got to kind of hunch down a little bit, or my head is right on the ceiling. Likewise, my legs are right against the seat, but they're not all that bad either. For a short trip, this wouldn't be all that terrible, although for a longer drive, probably wouldn't be too excited about spending a whole lot of time back here. Now at the back, you'll see that this trunk opening is quite small, but once you look inside, it's actually pretty good in terms of cargo area. Definitely gonna have more than enough space for 4 occupants. And if we come around to the rear seat here, this little strap, if you pull on that, drops down this rear seat back and further increases rear cargo area. So again, kind of hard to get things into the back, but if you're not using those rear seats, you can actually fit quite a bit into the rear of the Camaro. For 2011, the Camaro was offered with 3 different engine options, although we get some additions in later years. The base engine was a 3.6 liter 6-cylinder that had 304 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. That was paired to either a 6-speed automatic or 6-speed manual, would do 0 to 60 in 5.9 seconds, and had a very good EPA rating of 17 to 18 miles per gallon in the city and 29 miles per gallon on the highway. They also offered it with a 6.2 liter V8. If you go with the automatic, like this vehicle, it sees 400 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 will take you 4.8 seconds. And then if you go with the 6-speed manual, you see a bump to 426 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. That 0 to 60 time drops to 4.6 seconds. EPA rating is actually very good on this model as well. It's got a cylinder deactivation system, which is able to drop 4 cylinders when cruising. As a result, city mileage is 16 miles per gallon, and it sees 24 miles per gallon on the highway. So you may be wondering, how does it accelerate on the highway? Well, we are about to find out. It was 400 horses, getting the job done. Just like that, we're up to 75, which speed limit's 45, so we should probably tone it down a tad. Now, one option that I forgot to mention when I was talking about the interior of the Camaro is that it's got an available heads-up display, which is pretty cool. On the screen, right in front of the steering wheel, I'm seeing an image right now that's projected from a little projector. It's giving us the tachometer, speedometer, direction that we're traveling. This little button right here, if you push on that, it will change the appearance a little bit. So now I'm seeing a digital speedometer, again the direction, and I'm seeing the temperature outside. And so you can scroll through a few settings here, and then we've also got a dimmer, so we can adjust this down and back up. So at nighttime driving, you can drop that down a little bit. And then we've also got a little button here that you can raise and lower that image. So I can bring it all the way down to like the front bumper of the vehicle, or I can bring it up quite a bit higher, depending on where you prefer to have that. Pretty cool feature to have, just as a reminder to let you know how fast you're going. This vehicle, it's very easy to speed, and so it's nice to have that available to help out with that a little bit. And then of course the tachometer is handy too, especially if you've got the manual transmission. Helps a little bit to know where you're at in terms of shifting. One thing I've definitely got to commend the Camaro for is that despite the fact that it's a performance car first, it really would make a pretty nice daily driver as well. It's very comfortable. We've got nice seats, leather surfaces on the seats, the steering wheel, nice suite of luxury and tech features. The vehicle is very smooth, it's comfortable, it's quiet when you want it to be. We've got decent fuel economy. We've got the rear seat that's giving us seating capacity for 4. We've got the sunroof. I mean, really, all around, it wouldn't be a bad vehicle for driving day to day. And yet at the same time, when you want to go out for a joyride, you've got all that power under the hood. So really, in a lot of ways, the Camaro is a great vehicle. It's the reason that the original Camaro was so popular, is that it was an affordable sports car that had a lot to offer, and that's the same thing that you get in this 5th generation model. So that's the 5th generation model of the Chevy Camaro, a very cool car all around. Obviously the styling on this vehicle is iconic. It's got such a cool look of being retro and modern, very muscular looking, just very cool looking all around. Likewise inside, it's got a very nice interior. It's got a cool vibe to it, great level of standard options and features. And then of course, when you get up to this 2SS package, comes with a lot of really great add-ons. It's a ton of fun to drive, great exhaust note, it's incredibly quick, and it also has pretty decent fuel economy as well. If you're looking to get into an affordable sports car, the Camaro is a great option to consider. If you have any comments or questions on the Camaro, leave them in the section below. For more car reviews, be sure to subscribe. In the meantime, thanks for watching.